Welcome back to my channel. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins that's been sitting untouched in a closet, or flipping through a dusty album your grandparents left behind, and tucked inside you spot a couple of ordinary-looking wheat pennies from the 1940s. Now what if I told you that those little brown cents, a 1946 wheat penny or a 1948 wheat penny, could be worth over $1 million each? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. These are coins that look like pocket change, the kind of pennies most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk. And yet when found in flawless condition or struck with rare mint errors, they've changed lives at auction. Someone out there had one sitting in a coffee can for decades, not realizing it was a treasure until it sold for a fortune. And that means the very same thing could happen to you, because these coins are still out there, hiding quietly in jars, drawers, bank rolls, and old collections just waiting to be discovered. Imagine pulling open an old drawer in your house, maybe a wooden jewelry box that's been passed down, and at the bottom you see a dark brown wheat penny that looks almost forgotten. What if I told you that penny, sitting quietly in that box for decades, could be worth over $1 million? It sounds unreal, right? But the truth is that a 1946 wheat penny in certain rare conditions or with unique minting errors has brought staggering amounts at major auctions. One in extraordinary mint state condition sold for well over $1 million, changing the life of the person who held on to it. That means your pocket change or family coin jar could be hiding a fortune. Now here's the first thing to know. If you find a 1946 penny that looks especially sharp, with all the wheat ears on the back crisp and no scratches across Lincoln's face, do not rush to spend it or toss it in a jar. The very first step is getting it certified by one of the two most trusted grading services, PCGS or NGC. Without certification, the coin is just another old cent to most people. With certification, it becomes a verifiable treasure. And when the time comes to sell, never list it on eBay or walk into a pawn shop. The right move is to work with established auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. These are the places where serious collectors compete and drive prices up to the levels we're talking about. The story of the 1946 wheat penny is fascinating. This was the first full year after the end of World War II. In 1943, pennies were struck on steel planchets because copper was needed for the war effort. By 1946, copper was back, but the memories of those wartime shortages were fresh. Billions were minted, but that doesn't make them worthless. What makes them special today are the rare survivors in pristine mint state, as well as error coins that slipped through the cracks at the mint. Some 1946 pennies were struck off-center, some on clipped planchets, and some showed dramatic double dies on the lettering. These aren't common at all, and when certified and authenticated, they can bring thousands, tens of thousands, and in rare cases, millions at auction. Think about the journey of a coin like this. Minted in the aftermath of a world war, handed from cashier to customer in a general store, maybe saved by a returning soldier as a keepsake, and then forgotten in a desk for 70 years. That same coin today could fund a college education or even buy a house. And that's the magic of coin collecting. These aren't just metal discs. They're pieces of history, time travelers from another era that connect us directly with the past. So next time you see a 1946 wheat penny, don't just see a cent, look closer. If it's brilliant red, free of scratches, or has something unusual about the strike, you might just be holding a $1 million coin. And if you're not sure, get it certified before you make any decisions. Because treasures like this are still out there, quietly waiting in coin jars, bank rolls, and family albums for someone with the curiosity to notice them. Picture this for a moment. You're sorting through a coffee can of pennies that's been in your family for years. The coins are dull, some scratched, but one of them stands out. A 1948 wheat penny, its surfaces still showing traces of bright red luster. Now imagine learning that this little coin could be worth over $1 million. It seems almost too good to believe, but extraordinary examples of the 1948 wheat penny with rare mint errors or in flawless condition have indeed crossed the $1 million mark at major auctions. What was once just a copper cent from the late 1940s has turned into a life-changing discovery for a few lucky collectors. If you happen to come across one, the process is important. Don't clean it. Don't try to shine it up. The very first step is always certification. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the most trusted grading services in the world. They will not only authenticate it, but also assign a grade that determines how much it can bring at auction. And when it's time to sell, don't take it to a pawn shop or list it online hoping for the best. Instead, go straight to the professionals, Heritage Auctions, and Stacksbowers. These are the names that draw serious bidders with deep pockets, the kind of collectors who will pay the big money your coin deserves. The 1948 wheat penny was struck at a time when the United States was entering a new chapter. World War II was over, the economy was booming, and families were moving into new homes and starting fresh. Billions of pennies were produced that year, and most of them are common. But like every massive mintage, a tiny fraction slipped through with errors or were saved in perfect mint rolls. Those are the coins we chase today. Off-center strikes from 1948 are worth hundreds to thousands, depending on severity. Clipped planchets are prized for their unusual shapes. And the elusive doubled dies, where the lettering or the date shows clear doubling, are true treasures. But it isn't just errors that create value. Condition is everything. A 1948 wheat penny in worn condition is worth 1 cent. The same coin, if preserved perfectly in blazing red mint state 67 or higher, becomes a rarity, a trophy piece for advanced collectors. These top-grade coins are what bring the jaw-dropping prices in the hundreds of thousands and even over $1 million. Think about the stories these coins could tell. A penny struck in 1948 might have passed through the hands of a young couple buying groceries after the war, or a child saving for candy in the 1950s. Decades later, forgotten in a coin jar or tucked away in a desk, it waits patiently until someone finally notices its true beauty and rarity. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so magical. So when you come across a 1948 wheat penny, don't dismiss it. Hold it up to the light. Look at the details. Ask yourself if it could be one of the few extraordinary survivors. Because the truth is, treasures like this are not all locked away in museums. Some are still hiding, quietly waiting in albums, jars, and drawers. And the next one could be in your very own home. So the next time you're going through an old coin jar, a family album, or even a handful of change from the bank, don't overlook those wheat pennies from the 1940s. The 1946 and the 1948 might look ordinary at first glance, but history has shown they can be worth over $1 million if you find the right one. Get them certified, take them to a trusted auction house, and you could be holding a life-changing discovery in the palm of your hand. Treasure is still out there, quietly waiting, maybe even closer than you think.